You ever hear a name and feel the weight it carries? Like the mere sound of it presses something into your chest? Reinhard van Astrea. That's not just a name. That's a legacy wrapped in crimson, the quiet breath before a storm tears apart the horizon. It starts like this. Everyone in ReZero fears something. Death, loss. Reinhard? He's the storm you pray doesn't notice you. And if he does, then that's the end of your story, not his. See, in the kingdom of Lugunica, titles are earned through blood and fire. But Reinhard was born into his. Born human, but the world bent at the knee anyway. Not out of love, out of recognition. From the moment he opened his eyes, his body overflowed with mana, rejecting it like a vessel never meant to be filled. His gait, defective, a cursed flaw to most. But Reinhard turned that into power. A paradox. A man who can't wield magic, yet no magic can touch him. People call him the Sword Saint. But that's just a mask, a placeholder for something the world can't name. Because what do you call someone who breaks the rules of reality and then refuses to even boast about it? He was 5 when he inherited the divine protection of the Sword Saint. A child who defeated his father in combat before most kids know how to hold a blade. And in doing so, the weight of Reinhard van Astrea's legacy fell on his shoulders. No protests, no hesitation, only silence. Reinhard doesn't speak of pain, he embodies it. Here's where it gets real. The divine protections, think of them as blessings from the cosmos itself, granted to people who deserve them. Most folks get 1, maybe 2 in a lifetime. Reinhard, he asks for them, not whimsically, not selfishly, but with a precision that makes you wonder if fate itself answers to him. The Phoenix grants him revival. He dies and is reborn again and again. Time can't kill him. And if it tries, he simply takes another breath. But let's tease something darker here. Reinhard knows that even with this immortality, he cannot defeat everything. The Witch of Envy, Satella herself, he can't bypass her immortality. She can't land a finishing blow. 2 gods stuck in a dance neither can end. That's not a fight. That's destiny mocking them both. And yet, Reinhard never breaks character. He doesn't boast. He doesn't threaten. He doesn't need to. Because the world trembles where he walks. Literally. He once split the sky with a single unsheathed swing of dragon sword reed. That sword only unsheathes when it deems the opponent worthy. Most foes, not even worth the effort. So he fights barehanded. And you know what's more terrifying than a sword strike from a god-tier knight? A punch. A simple human punch that can bisect a man. A kick that can hurl stone giants across cities. Here's the twist that gets most people. Reinhard isn't just strong. That's too simple, too narrow. Reinhard breaks cause and effect. He has a divine protection that lets him dodge projectiles by existing. He can walk on clouds, resist curses, diseases, fire, poison, deception, mind control. He could walk through hell and come out cleaner than he went in. And it isn't just muscle. This man's intuition borders on prophetic. He feels when a threat is near. No training, no magic. Just instinct, honed like a blade that never dulls. He'll meet you in battle, feel the way your body reacts to a clash, and know your weakness. That's not guessing. That's transcendence. But let's peel back another layer. Here's the catch. Reinhard doesn't like being this powerful. He's not drunk on it. He doesn't chase glory. He doesn't need to. That's what makes him so lonely. No rival, no peer, no one who truly gets it. In battle, he's a god among mortals. In life, he's just there. A red-haired phantom carrying a name too heavy for any soul, even his own. Remember this. Reinhard can delete divine protections from himself. He did it at 5 years old. Got one that could change his mind, hated the idea of not being himself, and erased it. Like swiping a speck of dust from his sleeve. That's the kind of man he is. He chooses to stay human, even when the universe begs him to be something else. And there's this scene, an obscure moment in Arc 5. He gets launched to the moon, not metaphorically, the actual moon. Survives the vacuum, the impact, the isolation. And then, he comes back, leaps from the moon to Pristella. The sheer absurdity of it isn't even questioned anymore, because it's Reinhard. And Reinhard doesn't need physics. Physics bends for him. You're probably wondering, if he's this strong, why doesn't he end all conflict? Why not just erase every enemy, every villain, every threat to peace? And here's the emotional gut punch. Reinhard doesn't see that as his purpose. He's a knight, bound to duty. And more than that, he knows, truly knows, that absolute power isn't the answer to everything. Sometimes things have to fall apart, because not even the strongest sword can mend a broken soul. And that's the paradox of Reinhard van Astrea. He's powerful enough to destroy the world if he wanted to, but he doesn't. He restrains. Every day, he chooses mercy. Not because he's weak, but because he remembers what pain feels like. But perhaps the most haunting truth of all? Even if you disabled every single one of his divine protections, even if you took away his resurrection, his speed, his durability, his resistance, his instincts, Reinhard would still win. Not because of fate, not because of tricks, but because at his core, he is a man who understands the burden of strength. And no one else, not Cecilis, not Subaru, not even Volcanica, can carry that weight the way he does. So how strong is Reinhard van Astrea? He's the line that villains fear to cross. He's the wall reality puts up when fantasy gets too wild. He's a god with a conscience, a knight with no equal, and a man who knows that sometimes being unbeatable is the loneliest curse of all. You don't challenge Reinhard to win. You challenge him to be remembered. And if you survive, then you're not just lucky, you're part of his legend.